It's Tuesday. Today I'm at work. Work's kind of been interesting, so we don't really get our schedule for the day till about partway through the day, till almost about 9 o'clock, because my boss is not in until then. So I went to the classroom I normally go to, that I'm normally in, and we look at the schedule when we get it, and it says I'm with the toddlers. So I go into the toddler room, but first I go stop at my boss's office, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like, I can't do anything in here. Why am I in here? And she was like, well, they're over by 1, so we just need you, like, for that. And then we get a phone call a little bit before lunchtime, and she's like, send Ashley home at noon. And I was like, I'm not going home. I told her last week I need all of my hours, and I was pretty upfront with that, but she cut my hours yesterday, and I was like, okay, if you're cutting my hours on Monday and you're not letting me come in, then I will be here every single day for my full hours. It's Thursday. I didn't vlog at all yesterday, and that's just kind of how it is. Yesterday I did get to work my full shift, which was great, and then yesterday I got an email from my old job, and they emailed me and were like, hey, given your experience at the school, because you know the kids for the most part, like, you know the school culture, you know all of this, and given, like, your expertise apparently in health, they want me to write their health curriculum for next school year, and they want it to start as soon as possible, and it's going to end at the end of August, like when the school year starts, basically. So what I'm going to do, get a little bit more information. Now, I did get off work early today. I was supposed to get off at 2:45, and instead I got up at like 12:30. I was in the toddler room again. I was supposed to wait until this one child left, and she left literally right before nap, right after lunch. And so I was like, hey, I could stay and clean the tables real quick. So I cleaned the tables, swept the floor, and now I am at Mugshot, what is it called? It's called Mugshot Coffee and Cafe. I am over here for 2 reasons. One, because I do like to check out local coffee shops, and also I actually have a homework assignment for my health and PE degree. It is for my educational research class that is still going on because it is the summer. So for this class, one of our assignments is learning how to take field notes. And field notes they're like a 2-column note. One column is your objective observations, and then the other column is like what you think. You're like, oh, what could this be? And like your inferences. So I already know how to do this assignment, and we have to do it for half an hour. So I'm gonna go ahead, get set up at Mugshot, buy a coffee, get myself some lunch, because it is my lunchtime. Home. I'm only home for about 15 more minutes, and then I'm actually heading to the doctor. I have to go see my pain physical therapist today, and hopefully we can talk about some different kind of pains that are new. I just have like a lot of pain in my wrists and hands, and they've been hurting a lot lately, so I'm gonna see what we can do about that. And then afterwards, I'm gonna come back home. I need to read one more article and take some notes from a previous article. Meeting for my project, so I ended up signing the contract for the project. So what ended up, the final thing was, I will have 65 hours from today until mid-August to write an entire curriculum for health. It's only 10 sessions once a week, and it's asynchronous. I just need to ask one more question about, with it being asynchronous, do they have weeks off where they're supposed to be doing things? Because that would tell me kind of what how much I can build into it. But today is all about figuring out my scope and sequence. I'm printing everything I need for my scope and sequence of this. This I just got back home from the coffee shop. I worked on the scope and sequence. So pretty much I pulled all of the benchmark indicators from the standards. I looked at the draft of the Minnesota Health Standards and I pulled from there because that's what the boss of this project wants me to do. She wants me to focus on Minnesota Health Standards, and I was like, what about the national that are technically there? Because Minnesota aren't there yet. And she was like, whatever. She's like, do what you can. So I took kind of the Minnesota standards and worked them in, and I looked at each standard and I phrased it into a question, like, what do we need to learn? So I got all that written out, and then after I wrote all what do we need to learn, out of the sexual health, the mental health, and the drug and substance use, those are the 3 units that we discussed that we are going to have taught in this 10-week course. So it really is a single, it's 2 to 3 days per lesson. And I'm kind of trying to see what I can tweak around, because I do want the first day to be what is skills-based health education, but I wanted the last day to be this is everything you learn, and not just the very last of it. So I got to figure that out, because if I have 10 days and the first 2 are the first one and the last one are taken, that means I really only have 8 days. So that means I have 2 days per unit, and it's an hour-and-a-half session. It's 90 minutes, so 15 hours total. So I'm trying to figure out how to make that work in the best way possible. Right now, I am printing these skill cues for the skills of standards 2 through 8. So that is the last step I have to do in the first sequence. I'm probably not gonna get much more than that part done after all of this prints, because it's honestly gonna take a sweet time. So I gotta figure out what skill's gonna work for that lesson and everything. And so I'm printing the skill cues now. I did fix my hair, put a bow in my hair, put some earrings on and a necklace. These earrings I actually made, and so I actually made the bow, necklace, and the earrings. These earrings are a style that you can get in the mystery earrings. I'm aiming to drop some products at the beginning of August. I have a new blind date with a spicy author, couple of blind dates for the books. The ones that go with me to markets are actually not going to go on the website anymore. So I'll have a stock of blind dates for the book here at home that don't go with me to markets for a while until I start using the stock that do, and then I'll rotate. There'll be exclusive books to the website and exclusive books to markets. That is kind of the idea. Bye.